But while we are confined to books, though the most select and classic, and read only in particular languages, which are themselves but dialects and provincial, we are in danger of forgetting the language which all things and events speak without metaphor, which alone is copious and standard. Much is published, but little printed. The rays which stream through the shutter will no longer be remembered when the shutter is wholly removed. No method nor discipline can supersede the necessity of being forever on the alert. What is the course of history or philosophy or poetry, no matter how well selected, or the best society, or the most admirable routine of life, compared with the discipline of looking always at what is to be seen? Will you be a reader, a student merely, or a seer? Read your fate, see what is before you, and walk on into futurity. Will you just read, or will you see on your own? That's right! Burn!
It's not on, is it?
Burn! Fire! Fire! Burn!
Ah, the majestic owl.
Isn't that a turkey?
No, it's an owl, you idiot! Yet I love to hear their wailing, their doleful responses, trilled along the woodside, reminding me sometimes of music and singing birds, as if it were the dark and tearful side of music. The regrets and sighs that would fain be sung. They are the spirits, the low spirits and melancholy forebodings of fallen souls that once in human shape night walked the earth and did the deeds of darkness, now expiating their sins with their wailing hymns or trinities in the scenery of their transgressions. They give me a new sense of the variety and capacity of that nature which is our common dwelling. Oh, that I had never been born, sighs one on this side of the pond, and circles with the restlessness of despair to some new perch on the gray oaks. Then, that I'd never been born, echoes another on the farther side of this tremulous scenario. And born comes faintly from far in the Lincoln woods. The song of the owlbird reminds me of the music, the melancholy side of music which reflects human despair. And you have your songbirds, but the owl truly represents the dark side of humanity and the disparity of our souls.
But it's a turkey.
No, it's an owl!
Owl attack!
Oh! Oh! It's attacking my eyes!
At evening, the distant lowing of some cow on the horizon beyond the wood sounded so sweet and melodious, and at first I would mistake it for the voices of certain minstrels by whom I was sometimes serenaded, who might be straying over hill and dale. But soon I was not unpleasantly disappointed when it was prolonged into the cheap and natural music of the cow. I do not mean to be satirical, but to express my appreciation of those youth singing when I state that I perceived clearly that it was akin to the music of the cow, and that they were at length one articulation of nature.
I'm gonna play a little ditty.
I see you're working on some new music there, Julia.
Yeah, doesn't it sound great?
Yeah, a cow could do better than you. And now a passage about trains. I watch the passage of the morning cars with the same feeling that I do the rising of the sun, which is hardly more regular. The train of clouds stretching far behind and rising higher and higher, going to heaven while the cars are going to Boston, conceals the sun for a minute and casts my distant field into the shade, a celestial train beside which the petty train of cars which hugs the earth is but the barb of the spear. The stabler of the iron horse was up early this winter morning by the light of the stars amid the mountains to fodder and harness his steed. Fire, too, was awakened thus early to put the vital heat in him and get him off. If the enterprise were as innocent as it is early, If the snow lies deep, they strap on his snowshoes, and with the giant plow a furrow from the mountains to the seaboard, in which the cars, like a following drill barrow, sprinkle all the restless men and floating merchandise in the country for seed. All day the fire steed flies over the country, stopping only that his master may rest, and I am awakened by his tramp and defiant snort at midnight, when in some remote glen in the woods he fronts the elements encased in ice and snow, and he will reach his stall only with the morning star, to start once more on his travels without rest or slumber. Or perchance, at evening, I hear him in his stable, blowing off the superfluous energy of the day, that he may calm his nerves and cool his liver and brain for a few hours of iron slumber, if the enterprise were as heroic and commanding as it is protracted and unwearied. And then again, we live the steadier for it. We are all educated thus to be sons of Tel. The air is full of invisible bolts. Every path but your own is the path of fate. Keep on your own track, then.
You probably wanted wine. They came up here and you looked like you were supposed to be here.
I perceived clearly that it was akin.
Are you ready?
I'll attack!